Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SG Live's presentation of YAIAA Boys Basketball. Tonight, the Spring Grove Rockets welcome the Colonials of New Oxford. I am Wayne Dull, and with me is the Italian Charles Oakley, Dr. Joseph Intrieri.
Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to doing another game here. Live streaming for SG Live of Spring Grove Rockets Boys Basketball. New Oxford Colonials.
Yeah, so it's a divisional matchup, Joe. These teams have met once before. New Oxford won by a score of 73 to 54 at New Oxford. However, their team was a little bit then, as they were a healthy full roster, whereas tonight one of their key starters is injured for the game and will not be able to play. This is, as I mentioned, the second time they're playing, and Spring Grove comes in tonight with 0 wins on the season. New Oxford comes in with 3 wins of the season. And Joe, you got 2 teams, end of the year, neither one having the season they wanted to have, but probably a high energy game regardless. A, it's one of the last games of the season, and B, you gotta want to get rid of that O, right?
Absolutely. You don't want to go 0 for a season here. And I'm just looking at the kid here that's sitting out for New Oxford, and just look at him. He's a big body, and I'm sure they're going to be missing out on him for this game.
Yeah, so that being said, we do have the projected starting lineups. However, I think our New Oxford one is off because they have on their list number 30, Connor Jenkins is starting, and it does look like his arm is in a brace. So we'll get those starting lineups to you when we can. And, Joe, I mentioned that both these teams are really struggling this year. However, it wasn't that far ago that both these teams were having some of their best seasons in program history. Of course, Eli Brooks, the Darren Gordon, Spring Grove Rockets a couple of years ago were really good. And the last several years, the New Oxford Colonials have been in the YAIAA County Championship game. They lost both. But last year, Joe, they were in the state playoffs, never lost a game, and didn't win the state title. How did that happen?
Well, with COVID shutting things down, they were in the round of the final 8 in the quarterfinals. So I don't know, Wayne, do you call them all state champions at that point? Or is this the defending state champions that we are playing tonight?
I'm not going that far, but, they were set to face Milton Hershey in that round of 8, and New Oxford had a really, really, really strong team. To that point, New Oxford, it's got to be tough. New Oxford ended last season with such high hopes, and in August, they got crushing news. They had a student who was going to be a junior for New Oxford, a 6'8", already had a Division I scholarship offer from Mount St. Mary's in Maryland, and he transferred to a private boarding school in Perkiomen, out in the Philadelphia area, and you lose a Division I talent who's a junior and 6'8". That's going to be hard to replace.
That's why I always say it's tough to play any type of private school, Catholic school, whatever it may be, because they can get those type of transfers, and that's always a huge disadvantage for the public schools whenever it comes in playoffs in any sport.
Yeah, and so, that obviously hurt New Oxford. Of course, a couple of years ago, Susquehannock had a student who was in 8th grade, transferred down to ING Academy down there in Florida to play basketball. I think he's the number 7 recruit in the nation right now. So that stuff hurts, for sure.
And I think that's what makes Eli Brooks so special whenever he stayed here at Spring Grove, really put us on the map. And he's really a hometown hero, if you remember those type of games.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to pause here as we're going to get the starting lineups along with the national anthem.
Good evening, and thank you for attending tonight's event. Your attendance at this evening's event signifies your acceptance of the Spring Grove Area School District's requirement of all spectators wearing masks on the inside of this building. Any spectator not meeting this requirement will be removed from the building. Thank you for your cooperation. We'd like to acknowledge our seniors in their last home game today. First, we have number 41 is Josh Bynard.
right, Joe. So as we get ready to play tonight, we do notice that number 35, Torben Eakins, is injured for New Oxford senior. Coach Eisenhart told me, he's one of, if not their best players. So big plus here for the Rockets tonight.
Some interesting background here on Torben Eakins. His father worked here for a little bit, Spring Grove, and it would be Torben's grandfather had a great career in the NBA and ABA. Was I think a 7-footer actually. Played at BYU, some college ball. So he had a great background there.
Wow, that is absolutely fascinating as we get ready for the tip here tonight. So Fred Artman here, the ball in the middle. He's one of YAIAA's finest officials. So Fred's getting ready for the toss. And right away you can see the height advantage that Diarmid Stewart's going to have against anybody that guards him.
So if that ball would have gone out of bounds as a former official there, is that a re-jump or would that have been out on Diarmid?
That would be out on Diarmid.
Did it? Okay, I wasn't sure what would happen there.
And right away, Joe, we see the Rockets trying to force the ball down low and New Oxford fronting the post. Why would a team go about fronting the post in high school basketball? What's the thought there?
Anytime that there's a height advantage for the other team, you don't want to play from behind because that's then to the advantage of the bigger, taller player. So the goal is to really front that post player to try to make that pass inside a bit more difficult and then have some help on the back end as well.
All right, so New Oxford's playing in a man.
They're really extending it out even beyond the three-point arc a little bit. Some token pressure.
Ethan Glass is a sophomore, number 15, that Coach Eisenhart told me is really stepping up this year. Really proud of it. You saw Diamond take a really hard take to the basket. Beautiful move there, and 2 points for the Rockets.
Yes, he'll need to continue to go inside, use that height advantage. Interesting matchup here on the other end. Diarmid guarding a much smaller number 14, who's almost like the point guard there.
Yeah, Braden Carver. I noticed that too. And Carver drives, a little bit of contact, no call there. Diarmid gets the ball, brings it down.
Nice pass inside.
Oh.
Got to use the left hand.
No good there by Joshua Blymeyer, one of the two seniors on the roster. And no shot, foul on the floor there against number 12, Caleb Watson. Nice aggressive play there by Braden Carver.
Yeah, it was a good call. Definitely a block there with the body.
Would like to point out there that Coach Eisenhart, shirt and tie, looking very dapper tonight. Always like when the coaches dress up a little bit, Joe.
You know, you see less and less of that nowadays. NBA, I don't think any head coach anymore wears a tie. College, you'll see those coaches dress up still, but not in the NBA.
Connor Jenkins with a bucket down on the other end as number 15, Ethan Glass, misses a good look here from the corner. Diarmid takes a strong take, not able to finish.
The Rockets there were definitely using their height advantage to get several offensive looks. Unfortunately, we weren't able to put it in.
Wide open look there for New Oxford, not able to connect.
On both sides, it looks like the refs have been missing some over the backs, in my opinion. Or I guess it's on the back. My wife would always tell me she was an official, not necessarily over the back.
Well, 2 shots now for number 11, Aiden Strasball. And you know, the thing about that, Joe, is that you can't punish somebody for being tall. They have to displace somebody, you know? Just because they reach over you and get the ball, that's not a foul. The foul happens if you're displaced and forced out of position from behind.
Yeah. There's a little talk there. Seems like who that foul was possibly on. The officials head to the scorer's table.
Fred heading over, still looking like he's not exactly sure, but they're going to call it on somebody. I guarantee you that.
I can remember back in the day, sometimes if you have a player and there's a question of who there's a foul on, and you know one player always fouls out or gets in foul trouble, you'll see someone else raise their hand. Oh, yeah, that was on me. That was on me.
Well, unless it's the star player, right? They're not going to raise their hand.
Yeah.
Coach will say, no, it wasn't that kid.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not quite sure who that foul was
3
called.
fouls already on the Rockets.
Strasball knocks the first one down, and the Rockets go to the bench. In comes number 34, Andrew Ziegler, a junior. Strasball up and good. So New Oxford holds a 4-2 lead with 5:37 to go here in the first quarter.
No pressure, a bit different than the girls' game that we did the other night where you saw the Rockets pressuring basically the entire game, whether it be full court or half court.
Good take there by number 41, Joshua Blymeyer. I like that. He got the handoff there from Diarmid Stewart and attacked aggressively. Gets to the line for 2.
Yes. Again, a big difference here with the fouls. I think the first quarter in the girls' game on Tuesday night, there were no fouls in that first quarter. Here, we've already had 4 in a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's correct. I remember you pointing that out as Blymeyer connects on his first one from the stripe. Second one, good rotation on that ball, Joe. And it's a 4-4 game now with 5:25 to go here in the first quarter.
Nice hand in the face, good defense.
Yeah, that was a tough shot there by Connor Jenkins. As Diarmid goes, spins in and scores. And so the Rockets up 6-4 now. And Coach told me he's one of the most explosive players in the league. That Diarmid's really tough to stop off on the defensive end. And when he's playing defense, he's pretty dynamic as well.
For a big guy, he moves really great. He handles the ball a lot.
Yeah, I like that call. I know Coach doesn't, but I like that call. That block, that defender, that backside defender slid in late.
I would agree. Most difficult call in basketball, block or charge.
Yeah, sure can be. And I'll tell you what, speaking of Stewart's defense, number 24, who ended up taking to the cup, he had a wide open 3 attempt. And just having Stewart's presence nearby, I think, made him second think that, and that's why he drove.
So Caleb Watson coming out of the game with 2 fouls here early in the first quarter.
Adam Pascal missed the front end, and he misses both as Stewart skies for the rebound. Yeah, you're right, Joe. The whole pace is different. Much more of a controlled style here compared to the girls' game, and that's to be expected. We know what Detroit Sauer's offense brings.
New Oxford is definitely getting in the passing lanes while they are playing defense here inside the arc kind of, but they're getting out in the passing lanes, making it a little difficult.
Deep 3 from number 14. Braden Carver does not fall, but another offensive rebound here for New Oxford. And both teams, Joe, are really doing a number on the offensive glass early on.
Travel call.
And I guess that is a downside, though. So you have Stewart, who's clearly a great athlete and really big. Offensively, he's on the low post, which explains the offensive rebounds. But then defensively, guarding a guard, he's not able to clean up the glass down low.
It definitely brings some matchup issues there. No doubt about that.
Glad to see our statistician, Greg Wagner, is up front with us tonight. Greg said he'll be able to get those halftime stats for us for halftime. He'll be able to run down and pick those up for us. Great to see Greg here, as he always is, for the athletic events, making sure everything goes well. And you heard the pep band in the background. Who's leading that charge, Mr. Intrury?
That would be Mr. Dan Brenner. He is the pep band director.
Should say Dr. Intrury. I apologize.
At least you're not calling me Troy tonight.
Give it time. Give it time.
Let's see if the Rockets here can get another basket. Nice look in the corner 3. No good.
You know, I really like that. Joe. I like that the drive followed the drive. I kind of wish the second drive took the layup instead of passing it out. But I do like how Stewart drove, and then he passed it off, and the next guy drove, right? That's one of the things you teach, right? A drive follows a drive.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so number 1, Nick Lawrence checks into the game. He's bringing the ball up the floor. Both teams a little sloppy with the ball early on.
I was going to say the same thing. A lot of turnover so far in this game.
Nice cut. Good find.
They double. New Oxford's doubling them.
Boy, he
Yeah.
is just really strong, and he's pumped up. Stewart's pumped up, you can see, but he's a strong kid, Dr. Intrury.
You could definitely tell he's put muscle on from last year to this year. So he must have been in the weight room doing some work.
Maybe with Coach Campbell. Is he a one-sport athlete, Joe?
You know what? I'm not sure if he does track or anything in the spring. He might do that. I'm not 100% certain.
Have Coach Campbell contact him about high jump.
Absolutely.
Good luck, and the Rockets just can't make it fall there as number 2, Gavin Smith, comes up a little short on the 3. That was a travel, I think, that we missed here. 2:35 to go in the game. 8-4, Rockets hold a 4-point lead, looking for their first win of the season.
There's your travel. I wish our statistician was around, Mr. Greg Wagner, to see how many turnovers so far in this first quarter
And you
for
can
both teams.
tell, Joe, the energy in this building is not the energy you would suspect in a COVID atmosphere and for a 0-win team. But I think the fans, the players, the bench, they feel that this can be the one.
You want to get a win. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And that's the thing with sports. Put the records out the window. These people want to win. They put a lot of time in. They put tons of hours in throughout the season. They want to win.
Rockets moving the ball around the arc. A little drive.
Nice
Think-
drive.
That was a finger roll from Gavin Smith. Was that a shot in your repertoire?
No, absolutely not. I was not quick enough on my feet to do anything like that. I'm more of a three-point shooter from outside the arc.
Oh, big, tough take from number 30, Connor Jenkins. Boy, he's a bull, huh?
He definitely did. But good no call there. They let him play, and I think that was the right no call.
Stewart for 3, way low.
Ooh, almost stepped out of bounds. Jenkins almost stepped out of bounds on that rebound.
And New Oxford running a 5-out motion offense. Not seeing a lot of guys cut through, but there is a backdoor cut and a foul. That'll be 2 shots for number 30.
That was foul on number 42, Josh Blymeyer.
42 or
5'10".
41.
Oh, did I see that wrong? No, it's 42.
42's Connor New.
Oh, I'm sorry. Connor knew that.
That's all right, though. Good take, though, from number 30, Connor Jenkins. New Oxford has 3 kids on their team named Connor, Coach.
Interesting. 3 kids. All right. And we have 1 on ours.
All right. So New Oxford for the second. It is good as Connor Jenkins sinks 1 of 2, and it is 10-7. Rockets hold a 3-point lead with 1:15 to go. Coach Eisenhart told me that for them to win this game has to stay in the 50s or below. He said we can't get into the 60s or 70s, and right now, Joe, that means this game is exactly where Coach Eisenhart wants it.
This is the type of pace. If you notice, though, defensively, New Oxford's extending their defense while the Rockets are trying to stay within the 3-point arc, not in the passing lanes.
Pull up 3 there from Braden Craver. Doesn't fall. We haven't seen a 3 made yet, and
Ooh,
another big difference from the girls' game.
that was a nice finish. I thought he was out of control there, but he was able to finish that layup.
Very good. And Stewart rejects one. And so I think he's got about 8 points. He's got 6 or 8, and he's also been a big impact player on defense, as we just saw there.
Rebounds, blocks, yep. When you're the tallest player on the court, definitely helps. Good ball rotation.
Looks like Spring Grove's content to hold for 1. New Oxford's not okay with that, though, as they are playing that pressure defense. And tough shot at the end there by
Josh Blymeyer there.
Blymeyer. Doesn't fall. Yeah, so, Joe, we were talking about those former New Oxford teams and how strong they were. Sean Bear was the head coach of this team for about 6 years, had great success, took them to the county championship, in which they lost to William Penn, a game I was present for, and frankly, I really thought New Oxford should have won that game. I thought they played the better game. I think York High, who beat them, was allowed to play with a little more physicality than New Oxford was, and I think that ended up being the difference. But that being said, the team was very successful. Coach Bear left. went to become a grad assistant at University of Arkansas and coach. Under former NBA coach Eric Musselman, and now is the director of video and analytics for the Penn State women's basketball team.
Interesting.
So he was replaced by Coach Nathan Myers, who played at New Oxford. He's 41 years old. I wanted to check. I didn't get to ask Coach Eisenhart before the game. Eisenhart is got to be close to 40. He's a couple years older than I am, and he played at Spring Grove. I was wondering if these two met in high school and played. But Coach Nate here of New Oxford's coached 11 years at Hanover. They won a District 3 title there, beating DeLone in the finals. He has 160 wins as a high school coach at Hanover.
District championship being DeLone. That's the Battle of Hanover right there.
How about it? And so, yeah, McSherrystown got kicked out of that one.
Yeah.
And so he has a really strong resume. Again, falling on some tough times this year, especially with an unexpected transfer, but a lot of excitement around this New Oxford program the last couple of years.
So let's see here, second quarter. The Rockets were able to get some offensive rebounds. However, turnovers really plagued both teams. So we'll see if those turnovers turn to points for one of these teams.
Yeah, and I would say, Jim, not just turnovers, but unnecessary, unforced turnovers. Just not really doing a great job protecting the ball, as we see another deflection there from New Oxford. Both teams struggling with the pressure on the ball handlers. Tough take. I'm thinking this is going to be on the floor.
Yeah, he called it on the floor. I saw him point.
Baseline out of bounds. We talked about this with the girls team. You got the tallest kid on the floor, Joe. What are you looking to do?
Let's see what they're going to do here. I mean, he was just kind of setting screens right there. I always like screen the screener type of plays there. That usually makes a defensive matchup issue.
Oh, Spring Grove ball, and I see Ethan Glass there, of course. You know, as we said, we did the girls' game Monday night. His older sister, Ellie Glass, tremendous rocket, 1,000-point scorer. I want to say 1,000-point scorer. I feel like that's right. Yeah, I think Ellie did get her 1,000th. I know she missed a whole bunch of her senior year with an injury playing at McDaniel. Saw Dad and Mom down there earlier tonight, so great to see Ethan contributing as a sophomore.
Yes, absolutely. As we said before, we lost a lot of the girls due to graduation last year, and Ellie Glass was one of the key contributors.
Great take from New Oxford, and another pass up of a layup for a corner pass, and I feel like some of these kids just got to finish, Joe.
Maybe they're afraid of getting blocked by Jarmid.
Another good look for New Oxford, for Spring Grove, can't connect. And again, a lot of missed threes tonight.
Have we had a made one yet?
I don't think either team. No, neither team has hit a three to this point.
There's a layup. Missed it though.
Boy, great move by Aiden Strasbaugh. Just can't put the biscuit in the basket.
You got to get it over the mid-court there. It's
Coach,
close to 10 seconds.
And so, Joe, let's talk about that for a minute. You talked about maybe they're afraid of getting blocked. Being the biggest guy on the floor is also an athlete. Not only is it what you do, but it's what other teams are afraid that you might do that sometimes impacts them too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, just your presence in there, knowing that you can go in and really at times, if you have an athletic big guy like we do, you might not even see him coming, and he could alter your shot, block your shot.
That was a great cut by Connor New and a great find by Stewart. You gotta finish that ball. Has to find the bottom of the net when you got a wide open layup like that. It's a beautiful cut. Gotta finish.
Well, something that you said, Wayne, that Coach Eisenhart was referencing is keeping this game in the 50s for tonight. I mean, they're going right at that pace, probably even a little lower in the 40s we're looking at right now. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, New Oxford's on pace for under 40, so. Spring Grove. See Stewart working that low post. They're really trying to get it into him. And another nice move by Stewart. Can't finish. Nice, tough rebound by Braden Craver, and he draws the foul.
I think that was on 42 Connor New there.
New Oxford, Are you surprised you're not seeing more doubling in the post from New Oxford when Stewart gets the ball?
No, I think they are kind of doing it. I think what they really got to focus on a bit more is trying to front them and get that backside help.
They started with that fronting the post, but now I'll tell you what, he's really good at fighting on the block. And there's our first three of the night. Number 5, New Oxford, Britton Eakins, sophomore. Probably, I'm assuming, Torben's younger brother.
I believe so.
And so good look for him. 14-11. Rockets hold 3. 5:15 to go here in the first half.
See, something Diarmid's doing right there. He was getting the ball out on the wing, and he's penetrating in. So since he's able to penetrate like that, he's then able to create his own shot.
Great play there by New Oxford, looking real strong in transition as Nick Lawrence finishes with the left-handed layup. And that is a timeout by Coach Eisenhardt as New Oxford goes on a little bit of a run. I think it was 14-8 Rockets, so New Oxford on a 5-point run. Coach Eisenhardt calls a timeout, try to gather the troops. So I said earlier, Jay, you got 2 alums coaching. When Coach Myers left Hanover, he told his wife there's only 2 places he would coach: New Oxford and the New York Knicks. And he had a feeling the New York Knicks weren't calling. And New Oxford ended up calling when Coach Bear left. You like seeing the alums coaching at their home schools?
That means they have passion. You know, you grew up there, you definitely have passion there. New York Knicks, they were on some very tough times there. So, hey, you don't know. Maybe he had a chance for the Knicks there. They're struggling pretty badly.
If Isaiah Thomas was still calling his shots,
Yeah.
he'd probably have a good shot. Oh, man. You know, as a Sixers fan, I have no problem.
Deep 3.
No problem making fun of the Knickerbockers as number 30, Connor Jenkins, knocks down the second 3 of the night, and that is now a 2-point lead for New Oxford. The first time leading the game since I think they were up 4-2.
Let's see how the Rockets are going to respond to that.
Oh, man.
See, right there, number 5 for New Oxford, which is Britton Eakins, was fronting the post and got the turnover.
And they forced the pass. Of course, you see Stewart got a quick blow, but he's back in on the substitute line here, waiting to come in. Glass pulls up, can't connect. Nice rebound there by Britton Eakins. And number 30
He's feeling
once
it.
again.
He's feeling it right
Connor
now.
Jenkins. What do they say, Coach? Shooter's got to shoot, right?
Shooter's got to shoot. And once you start feeling it, which, you know, he was dribbling, I could tell he was going to shoot that. He's going to put that up.
You know, and Coach, that's a charge.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They called
That's a
it.
great take by number 5, Britton Eakins.
Wait, some discussion. Oh, no.
Where are we going with here? And we called that a...
You know what, though? I don't know the rule here in high school. Obviously, I know in college there's that line around the hoop. He was directly under the hoop there. Is there a rule in high school for that or no?
There was not when I finished officiating. My
Okay.
understanding is no, and especially since you don't have that marker on the floor. I think that'd be really tough to enforce. I'll tell you what. That was... I had a charge. There, Coach. And, you know, as an old coach, it kills me. It kills me when I think a kid successfully takes a charge and they don't take that call, and they don't get the call.
I will say, and again, I don't know. I mean, he was directly under the hoop. I know college, when you have the marker, you have the line around the hoop, you know, that's an automatic block that they will call. High school, for some reason, I thought that might be a rule. I could be totally wrong.
I don't think it is, but notice here, Coach, what we got from the Rockets here. A little three-quarter court pressure, dropping back, nothing serious, just to show. New Oxford's in 4 low here.
And really, I don't blame him. I mean, I would try to spread it out, get Diarmid out of the post there. Get him guarding a wing.
Nice take there by Eakins. And we've said his name a couple of times here recently.
We have. big brother might be out injured, but the little brother here is making some plays.
Meanwhile, number 25 for the Rockets, Jacob McCoy comes in, I believe, for the first time tonight as Ethan Glass takes a rest. So baseline out of bounds play here for the Rockets.
Let's see what they do. Looking for DeArmond.
That was weird. They sent a screen to the left and he went right. And number 2, Gavin Smith misses everything. And now it's a 5-point lead for New Oxford. And coach, there's two sides to the story, right? No team with an O going into a game wants to end that game with an O. But the other team doesn't want to lose to the team with an O either.
Well, the pressure's on New Oxford, really. I mean, what does Spring Grove have to lose? It's great block there.
Oh, good feed.
New Oxford doesn't want to be the team to let Spring Grove get their first win of the season.
And that's going to be a foul here on New Oxford.
Rockets are now in the bonus. At least be a 1-on-1.
Stewart's going to line for 1-on-1. He's got to be a little careful there. I'm noticing on his drive sometimes he extends that arm a little bit.
I thought, I thought the same thing right there.
Well, let's see here. They're baseline out of bounds. You sure they're one? No, they put the foul up quick.
Okay.
And another turnover for the Rockets, and this should be a bucket.
Wait a second.
And that's oh boy.
Dermot definitely influenced that layup. He's lucky he didn't get the foul called.
I was thinking the same thing. A little bit of and we're far away. You got to give the benefits to the official, but fast breaks also always make the contact look worse than it really is. New Oxford here, 4 out, 1 in at the moment. That's our shooter, number 30.
There. Yep.
Connor
you notice
Jenkins.
he's going further out now.
He is feeling it, Coach.
He's feeling it.
He's got at least 8 this quarter. And, boy, he's really made a huge difference this quarter. Rockets have really been at a standstill here. They had 14 points. It was 14-13 when the Rockets called that timeout. It was 14-8 before that run started.
So you're looking here right now at a 17-2 run.
Yeah, big. That's big, and basketball's a game of runs, Coach. Got to be able to stop them and got to be able to go on them.
Rockets are continuing in their half-court man inside the arc, help defense.
And really, it's the turnovers that are killing Spring Grove. I mean, they've only had a couple of shots, I'd say, in the last 4 minutes.
All right. I was going to say, if that one was going to go in there, I mean, he was feeling it.
Yeah.
He has a kind of unique wind-up there whenever he shoots the ball.
It is unorthodox, and it comes from real low and finishes really high.
It's not a fast release.
And so Spring Grove ends the skid. New Oxford runs a lot of circle cuts.
See, we have a minute, less than a minute remaining here. Let's see what the Rockets are going to do.
New Oxford is so busy with their hands. Love seeing kids get on the floor. Great job there by both those kids. Love seeing them get on the floor. And officials say that New Oxford got a timeout there. Not sure if the fans are arguing, saying nobody had possession. How'd you see it, Joe?
I kind of have this railing in the way a little bit. I thought it could have been a jump ball there, but, I could definitely see how the timeout could have been called. That was a toss-up.
And that's always tough. Connor got there first from New Oxford. Nobody's looking at the coach right there. And Connor got there first. Rocket got there really close afterwards. So at what point did the coach call the timeout? But...
And really, it was the possession arrow favors the Colonials anyway, so they're going to keep the ball one way or another.
All right, so New Oxford, 44 seconds to go. If I'm New Oxford coach, I think I'm holding for one. I got a 7-point lead. If you get a bunny, you got to take it. But outside of that,
well, if you notice, the Rockets.
And an offensive foul on number 13.
I was going to say, if you notice, the Rockets were pressuring there a bit more defensively.
Connor Reber with the illegal screen, and it's tough when you hit the floor and you get caught for the illegal screen. All right, so a lot of long passes for the Rockets, probably contributing partially to the turnovers. It's 20 seconds to go. Probably looking for Stewart here. Get him the ball around 7 or 8 seconds down low, I would think.
Yeah, at this point, definitely look for the last shot.
Here's a high screen. Let's see him roll. Doesn't happen. Glass takes it, gets a foul. So Glass is going to the free throw line for 2 with 7 seconds to go here in the first half.
That was a good call. He definitely got hit in the wrist. There was some contact on the ball, too, but he definitely got hit in the wrist.
You know, they used to tell us, Joe, basically anytime that ball goes basically straight up, you can almost guarantee that either the wrist or the elbow has been hit. Glass gets that one. A little bit of a shooter's roll, and coach brings in number 40. Landon Bailey, freshman center, 6'4", hoping to get the putback here. Glass up. No need for a putback when you swish it, though.
No fouls for the Rockets here, because any
number
foul will
30
put them
gets
at
his
the
number
line.
called here. Oh, boy, he does not. And that's the end of the half, Joe. 20-25, Rockets down 5.
Well, let's see here. There's a question. Is the half over?
I think the half's over. Yeah, and at most 0.3 seconds left. You can't get a shot off, and the refs put 1 second back on the clock. And so Spring Grove can catch and release by rule.
Let's see what they do here.
It was a risky pass. And so that's the end of the half. Now, that's a little bit of a risky pass, Joe, because if that ball goes out of bounds and nobody touches it, New Oxford gets the ball right under your basket for a baseline out of bounds play.
Absolutely, absolutely. And something I want to point out there near midcourt, you have Monica Eckenrode. She is the official game ball cleaner for tonight. That's just one of our many COVID-19 mitigation efforts. You see Monica here in the front office during the day at the high school, and she is working numerous events in various roles. And tonight, she gets the job of making sure the balls are washed at all the timeouts and in between the quarters.
Yeah, you know, I worked here for 11 years. Of course, Ms. Eckenrode was here for all 11 of those years. Just does a great job out front, you know, greeting the kids, greeting the staff. And I don't know. Hard to imagine a much tougher job in schools than a front office secretary, Joe.
You want to talk about multitasking. You know, she's getting phone calls, checking people in at the door, and having me asking her questions in her face. So she really does it all.
And with a smile. And here comes our halftime guest, athletic director Greg Wagner, providing the stats.
I just got them. All right. So let's see here.
First off, big shout out to athletic director or athletic coordinator Greg Wagner. Once again, a lot of work going on, you know, and I listen to Steve Navaroli on 1350 every Saturday just talking about the work these athletic directors have had to do this year with COVID. The rescheduling and all those events certainly deserves a big shout out. He's got a big smile on his face, so I don't want to say too much more, but he did a great job getting the stats too, which Dr. Joseph Venturi is going to give us now.
Well, I just want to highlight here, he took a picture of the book. But, I mean, it's better. I thought you'd break it down maybe a little bit for me as I'm trying to do some math here in my head. But
To say that we have a full Zoom on Mrs. Eckenrode, so keep talking about her.
all right, so right now, just highlighting again the efforts here that Ms. Eckenrode is doing here for the official ball washer of tonight's game. You know, I don't know. I see that she wears gloves during it, too. I know those balls get pretty sweaty throughout the game from all these players touching it. So I don't know if it's a dirty job or not, but she's doing it. So thank you, Ms. Eckenrode.
Mike Rowe will be here next week to do a show on it.
Oh, okay, very good. So here's some stats right now, just kind of looking at it. And it looks like, as we could imagine, Diarmid Stewart is the leading scorer for the Rockets. He had 8 points. Here in the first quarter, he had 8 of the 12 points. And then he scored 2 more in the second quarter for a total of 10 points. 10 of the Rockets' 20 points. Again, there were no three-pointers, but the Rockets were, interesting enough, 6 for 6 at the line here in the first half. On the other side, you have New Oxford, and we knew that number 30, Connor Jenkins, was getting hot. He had 6 points in the first quarter, but then he had those back-to-back threes and another field goal for 8 points there in the second quarter. So right now he has 14 of the Colonials' 25 points. They, that half, shot 4 of 6 from the free throw line, and they have a total of 3 threes. As far as foul trouble goes, you have, for New Oxford, you have number 5, Bryn Eakins, with 3 fouls, and then no one else with more than 1. For the Rockets, you have Connor New with 2 personal fouls and Caleb Watson with 2 personal fouls. No one else then with more than 1.
I got to give you credit for the quick addition skills there, Dr. Intreri. Very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? Last year I messed up several times during it, and my phone would light up. So I'm really I was practicing it today, doing some flashcards and all that good stuff to do some quick mental math, so I wasn't going to mess up here too much more. So let's talk here a little bit. We have Greg Wagner joining us, student athletic coordinator. Last time we talked about the COVID-19 mitigation efforts. But let's talk about right now the girls basketball team making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The boys, unfortunately, are not. Whenever we signed off on Tuesday night, the girls were looking at the 4 seed. Where do they stand right now, Greg?
They're currently sitting at the 2 seed, and by all accounts, it seems like they've got the 2 seed locked in for the district playoffs that start on Wednesday of next week.
And so who's the 1 seed?
Mechanicsburg is the 1 seed.
And that is one of our losses for the year.
Correct. That is correct.
Okay. So obviously this year, the playoffs are looking different. I know in years past, first, maybe second round, they would do some home. The higher seed would host it at home. Then they would go neutral sites. What does this look like this year in the COVID era?
This year they will be playing all games at the higher seeds gym. So as long as the Rockets continue to win, we'll be guaranteed home court through the semifinals. And if someone would be gracious to knock off Mechanicsburg, we could host the district championship game here in the Grove as well.
And I'm sure a lot of people will be asking you, maybe this hasn't been settled yet or determined, what's the spectator policy for the playoffs?
District 3 does expect host sites to welcome spectators from both the home and visiting schools. Spring Grove will be doing just that. We will be having spectator limits of 100 that will allow us to do a distribution of 60% for the Rockets home fans and 40% for our visitors when they come to visit us. We're working out how that distribution will work. Obviously, our first priority is making sure that the members of our team and their families are taken care of, to be able to come see the members of the team play. And then we're going to figure out, hopefully find some tickets to have a small student section as well.
You know what, maybe, and especially as the playoffs go on and hopefully we win multiple rounds here, you could almost use a StubHub type style and a free market. And as people want to try to get these tickets, almost like maybe like an eBay, they start bidding on them. And, I guess it would go to the highest bidder, a way to, get some revenue in.
That's not exactly my forte. All ticket sales would go to District 3, so there would be no benefit to Spring Grove for such a process. But I'll bring that up to them, Dr. Trayer. I'll let them know that you're willing to head up that movement.
As long as I get a cut of it, that's fine. All right, we have 3 minutes remaining here in the halftime show. We'll take a brief break, and we'll come back here at the start of the second half.
All right, well, we are back here as the second half's about to get underway. Rockets down 25-20 here at the end of the first half, and certainly a tale of two quarters as the Rockets started out a little slow, but then took control here in the first quarter, and then the second quarter, New Oxford really jumped out and took control of the game. Rockets fall back, find themselves in a 5-point hole. So great interview there at halftime, Joe, with what is Greg's official title? Do you know?
Student athletic coordinator.
The student athletic coordinator.
You know, I'm a little sad this year. Typically, our halftime interview would be Officer Matthew Chititis, patrolman of Northern York County Regional Police Department. He was not working either of these games, so we missed out on his insight.
Well, there's still some potential hope, as I think as the Spring Grove Lady Rockets continue into the playoffs. That there's an opportunity, a chance possibly that SG Live might get involved in some of those games. We'll see. So if that's the case, then perhaps Officer Chititis will be around.
Yeah, you know what, we're looking at trying to do some live streams for the girls' playoffs coming up here next week.
And boy, I'll tell you, the turnovers are killing the Rockets. You cannot win a high school basketball game turning the ball over at the rate they are. And then what happens? New Oxford goes on a break. Stewart busts back, gets the block, and there's two New Oxford players and no Rockets underneath the basket because they're not hustling back.
You know, at times when you turn the ball over, oh man, yeah. When you turn the ball over like that, you get dejected a little bit, and you can't do that because you turned it over and then you gave up an easy basket.
Well, New Oxford opens the half on a 4-0 run here, so it's 29-20 New Oxford now. Spring Grove finding themselves 30 feet away from the basket a lot right now as Glass goes in.
That should have been a foul.
You know, that was two fouls, Joe. He got pushed in the back. I saw an
Yeah.
extended forearm and an extended arm, and then he got hit in the front.
That was definitely a block there. He should have been at the line.
Two fouls on that play. All right, so New Oxford has the ball. Went from
Michigan.
Utah to Michigan.
Luckily, Dr. George Ianias isn't around here talking about Michigan. You say that word, and he'll get talking about his alma mater.
You say Michigan or NASA around that man.
Yeah.
You're going to hear some tales.
Yep. You see him perk up. Or if you say Greece, Greek, anything like that, you'll definitely hear him perk up.
Dr. Ianitas, of course, former business manager, now superintendent of the Spring Grove Area School District, leading us this is his first year as a superintendent, is that right?
Second year. Second year. Hard to believe it's second year.
Wow. I was going to say, you would not want to go through this as a first-year superintendent.
Well, he went through, the shutdown last year was a first-year one, so...
Oh, that's right. You're right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Dr. Ianitas, great shout-out to him. He's doing a great job with the Spring Grove community.
The rest of his career should be pretty simple compared to what he had to go through these past 2 years, so...
Either way, New Oxford back to the line. It's number 14, Braden Carver, a name we have called a lot tonight, makes his first shot from the stripe. And Joe, not 2 minutes into the third quarter, 2 fouls on the Rockets.
They had some early fouls there in that first quarter, but then they went a while without committing a foul. It's not like they got into a double bonus situation. So let's see. Maybe they just, got out of the locker room. They're a little too pumped up. Now they got to play smart defense.
I'm wondering, this Gavin Smith, number 2, is he a quarterback on the Rockets too? I seem to remember that the backup quarterback, I think, was about 5'8", and last name was, I think he is. Is he the backup quarterback for the Rockets? Because I think he got some play when we were doing the live stream games.
You know what? I did not do football this year, so I as far as live stream, so I don't know. What was the call there? I wasn't paying attention.
Jump ball.
Jump ball call, okay.
I'm pretty sure Gavin Smith played quarterback for the Rockets. I think the last 2 years we've seen him take some snaps at quarterback. Real athletic kid. I believe Troy Smith told me he was undefeated as a junior high quarterback. And I love seeing those multiple sport athletes. I'm positive that's who it is. It's Spring Grove going to the line here, number 41, Joshua Blymeyer, a little out of control, but hey, sometimes aggressiveness pays off. Yeah, I got confirmation. Gavin Smith was backup quarterback. We did see him for quite a bit of play this year. As I know the starting quarterback got injured for a little bit, and last year as well. So I love seeing those 2 sport athletes and 3 sport athletes. Spring Grove down 10 here, 5:17 to go as Joshua Blymeyer connects on the first of the front end and makes the second one. So Rockets trail by 9.
I think a key thing here, I'm going to keep going back to, we got to hold New Oxford in the low 50s if we're going to win this game. If it gets anything more than that, we're going to be in a bit of trouble.
And Joe, you're right, but you can hold a team into the 30s, but if you turn the ball over every other time you've got it, it might not make a difference. They got to start protecting the ball as well.
I 100% agree with you. But the way they're scoring now, New Oxford was very slow scoring at the beginning. Now they're picking it up. The Rockets got to make sure their defense picks up a little bit to keep it in the low 50s. If it gets higher than that, they're not going to have a chance.
Yeah, and I know there's a little bit of upsetness on Spring Grove's bench. They're far away. It did look like that ball went out on Blymeyer. Real tough play. I think a good call.
Travel. Yep, definitely travel.
All right, so Spring Grove's, it's rambunctious tonight. Let's see if we can carry over to the offense here and make something happen. Down 9 with 4:40 to go at 22 points here, and we've played 20 minutes of high school basketball. We got to start putting the ball in the net.
See number 5, Bryn Eakins, he's playing from behind there. He kind of punched out the ball. Could have been a foul. But again, it'd be best fronting him.
All right, and they have gone, Joe. Spring Grove went on that run. They were really feeding Stewart, looking for Stewart a lot in the low block. They've gone away from that a little bit. You think that's something we might see some more of here?
Well, Stewart had, I believe it was 8 points there in the first quarter. He's only had 2 since.
And Glass knocks down the 3. Big shot
three-pointer.
there.
Big 3.
Big shot there from Ethan Glass. You know, I was talking to Papa Glass, Rob, down there at halftime. And Rob, of course, father of Ellie and Ethan. He told me that, and Rob told me that, Ellie's doing great down there at McDaniel. Of course, we talked about her on Monday night. Joe, I'll give you one guess. Ellie, former Duller, by the way. What do you think that first semester GPA was?
Oh. However high it could be, that's what she got. There's
4.0, Joe.
Yeah.
4.0. That's nice.
I didn't know if colleges went higher than a 4.0 somehow, but I knew that she could be one to get that.
And I asked him, I said, how'd she do academically? And he just looked at me like, you know the answer to that, 4.0. And she was such a great worker in class. Glad to hear that she's doing well academically, hoping to get the season underway. Dealing with a little bit of a minor setback physically right now, but nothing major. So happy to hear that. And, we're thinking about her. Of course, we love Ellie, love all our former Rockets.
Yep. Right there, New Oxford had a bit of a flop there. They could have called a block there and put DeArmond at the line. No call.
6-point lead now, so the Rockets closing the gap. And that's a block. And that's a foul. If you're a New Oxford coach, you can't have that foul. You're 30 feet away from the basket. There's no reason. There's no reason for that block. So 2 fouls apiece now. 3:22 to go here in the third quarter. Oh.
Was it? Was it? I couldn't tell.
You can't catch the ball between the 2 lines, and that's exactly what he did. You are where you are until you get to where you're going. And so if you start to catch the ball in the front court, even if you start to catch the ball in the front court, you're in the front court until you establish yourself. That is the right call.
Okay.
And inexcusable. You can go all the way back. It just can't happen.
Another illegal screen. We've seen a couple of those tonight.
Both on New Oxford, I think.
Yes.
I wasn't really watching the illegal screen there, but that's one that probably, could be called basically every time someone sets a screen, honestly. Very few teams and players really set ball screens legally. A lot of movement. Glass from the corner! Oh, just short. That would have been a big one. And New Oxford, gas is on. Oh.
Nice rebound by
Stewart.
Diarmid.
Yeah. Spring Grove playing a little out of control there, and it shows there as once again number 14, Braden Carver, hits the deck.
That's a foul on, I believe it was 42, Connor New.
That's
That might
what it
be
looked like
his
to me.
Third. It is his third.
Here comes Blymeyer in for Gavin Smith. So 6-point game, still very much into. We need the clock on. Still very much a competitive game here, and just another foul far from the basket. Number 12, Caleb Watson. And when you're down in a game and you're getting close to the fourth quarter, Joe, those unnecessary fouls can come back to bite you.
What was this foul? I looked down a second, I hear another whistle.
That was a foul there on Connor New.
That's his fourth.
And so Spring Grove brings in Andrew Ziegler. Tough take, no call, but Carver there with the follow. 8-point game now.
Oh, man.
Discontinuation. If I'm Coach Eisenhardt, I think I'm ready. I'm ready next time I have the ball. Call a timeout, settle these troops down. And New Oxford's going to do the favor for him. New Oxford's going to call the timeout.
I'm surprised with that
Yeah.
they would call the timeout right now.
I am too. Spring Grove's playing a little out of control. Their emotions were getting the best of them, but New Oxford calls timeout and hold an 8-point lead with 2.5 to go.
Yeah. And I know we were talking about Ellie Glass earlier. I know someone who worked with her a lot, Nick Brady. He was a great player, I know, at York College. He is also an employee at River Rock in Spring Grove here. So I know that he worked with her a lot and did a lot of great work as he works with numerous high school athletes here on an individual level. I think he's listening in tonight as well.
I'll say, of course, Coach Brady, I know well too. Coach Brady, again, River Rock connection there for us, but also runs the K2 youth program for Spring Grove basketball. So I got
Does he really?
I got a
didn't know
pleasure
that.
of working with Nick when he runs that program and does such a great job, great presence for those young kids. Of course, this year it's on a halt, but kept it fun. But made sure that the kids got a great basketball experience. And so when we went through that with my daughter Natalie last year, would have done it this year with both Natalie and Truxton this year, but the program did get shut down. But Nick is just passionate, brings high energy, did a little bit of scouting once upon a time for York College. And Nick is a great guy, and we love him as a resource there at River Rock for sure.
Yeah, we need you need to have quality people like that in your youth program right there. And he's a great role model for the young kids, and I know the kids at River Rock as well.
And you're right, Joe. Charge call, I like that. Good tough take there by number 12, Caleb Watson. Good job.
Very good.
I know when Spring Grove was at its best, with Eli and Darren and that whole crew that I've mentioned a bunch of times, Liam Flaherty, that whole crew. By the way, University of Michigan beating Iowa right now, up 6. Eli has 6 rebounds, 2 points, 2 assists in that game. But I know when we were at our best at Spring Grove, Coach Brooks, Coach Flaherty ran the youth program, and then those kids came up and played high school ball with Coach Brooks and Coach Flaherty on the high school staff. And you're right, even as youth basketball players, you could tell they were good. So having that strong commitment at the youth level, that high basketball knowledge really can pay dividends.
Absolutely. You look at all the elite programs around, I'm talking high school elite programs. They're good every year because they have a strong feeder program. And really what's difficult with that is you need a varsity coach, head coach, that's involved in it. The hard part is it takes so much time. And if you're a varsity head coach, you have your own family, I'm sure, it's tough to balance there.
Sure is. And unless you're ING Academy, then your youth program is the entire nation.
Yeah.
All right, 6-point lead here for New Oxford as Stewart goes 2 for 2 from the line, 27-33. Good take. And we have not called Connor Jenkins' name in a little while, but that's a good take by him. He's going to line for 2.
It seems like right now there's a foul every time down the court.
Both teams have 6, and we're in the third quarter, Joe. I know your bedtime's about 9 o'clock. You might want to call Jess and let her know you're going to have to stop, grab a coffee on the way home to make it.
I know. I'm actually kind of hungry right now. I was thinking what snack I could have before I go to bed.
Maybe a calzone, stromoli.
I usually keep some Italian meats and cheeses in my fridge at the ready anytime.
Little prosciutto?
So, yeah, little prosciutto, mozzarella.
Oh, you like the mozzarella, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so 35-27. Spring Grove down 8. They're running a 4-out, 1 in, it looks like right now.
I'd like to see Diarmid inside, getting the ball inside, posting up, and seeing what happens.
Glass with another 3. And, we talked about that earlier, Joe. That is certainly when they were having their most success.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet. I mean, he was getting a lot of points there in that first quarter. He had 8, I believe, whenever he was getting it on the block.
Big shout out there to Caleb Watson hustling back, getting his hand on the ball, saving a bucket. New Oxford, baseline out of bounds, and it's the same play they ran earlier.
Play. I didn't see it. Was that a screen-to-screener type of deal again? I think it might have been.
Both defenders moved up, nobody covered back.
Yep.
Stewart's living on the perimeter. There's a take. Nice finish and no contact by him.
Yes,
Good job.
he held himself back because that guy was in position, ready to take the charge.
Sounds like Coach Myers calling for 1 shot. They're up by 8 with 30 seconds to go.
The Rockets don't want to foul. Put them at the line.
And,
Man, that's a dagger.
Connor Jenkins, what do they call that? Did I jinx Spring Grove? I
Yeah.
said we hadn't called his name much, and he's got 5 in the last 30
I blame that on you, Wayne.
10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Blocking foul, that's going to be 1 and 1. So Blymeyer, Caleb Watson headed the line for 1 and 1.
7 seconds remaining.
The good news is you get to the line. The bad news is now New Oxford gets a chance. Gets one more chance.
Let's hope he makes his first one.
He does not. And so New Oxford, 5 seconds to go. Long 2-point shot. Wow, beautiful.
Man.
Aiden Strasbaugh, he did a great job dribbling down and creating separation. And,
And that was good defense by Ethan Glass there. I mean, he wasn't fouling him. He still had a hand in his face there. What are you going to do?
Sometimes you got to credit the shooter, but he did do a nice job there with that. That last dribble was a bit of a hesitation dribble. Step back, Ethan, a little out of... Yeah, that's hard to stop. You're expecting to go to the cup, and, hey, you got to hit the shot.
Yep. There's Ms. Eckenrode again. If you have a shot of that with the officials, making sure the ball is sanitized and ready for the fourth quarter. She had to remind those officials that she had to sanitize that.
Great job by the Pep Band, and here we go in the final 8 minutes here of basketball here at Spring Grove for the boys this season. And I would like to acknowledge Caleb Watson and Josh Blymeyer. Coach Eisenhardt talked to me for a little while about these guys, and just said that he wanted to particularly thank both of those kids for their hard work, their dedication, their contributions to this team over the years. 2 super fine young men that he is sure are going to find success wherever their life takes them. Also, wanted to point out that Caleb is joining the United States Army.
Awesome.
And he just wanted to say, that's not surprising. He says he's the most unselfish kid they got. And just huge shout out to those seniors. Great to hear that, and great to hear Coach Eisenhardt's thoughts of them and what they've given to this program.
And just out-of-town scoreboard update right now, brought to you by the Spring Grove Area School District Maintenance Department, Bill Stiles. Michigan is up 53-46 with 11:30 to go in the game.
Bill Stiles, that's the name that takes me back. Bill got me into officiating. And speaking of out of town, That was an out-of-town block by number 45, Luke Rickroad. He sent that ball to another country. That was a volleyball-style smack. Did you hear the sound on that?
And you see at times, a lot of like people built like Diarmid are great volleyball players as well. I mean, I don't know if he plays volleyball, but he'd be great for that. He's athletic. He can jump. He has good height.
Meanwhile, number 1, Nick Lawrence, heading to the free throw line. Spring Grove's down 13, 7 minutes, 14 seconds to go. We got 1-on-1 for Nick Lawrence.
Both sides are in the bonus here for the rest of the game.
And Spring Grove's offense is really shut down again. They were up 14-8, Joe. And since that point, it's been 34-15 as number 25, Jacob McCoy's at the bench. He should have been buzzed in. And that's a foul from behind. You can hear Coach Myers yelling.
I was going to say that is a poor foul that far away from the basket whenever your team is already in the bonus.
All right, so Connor New heads to the line here. Front end of a 1-on-1. Coach Myers constantly talking to his kids nonstop. Nice get up by Stewart. Fouled on the way up. That's going to be 2 shots. And so, Joe, the Rockets are down 13. What needs to change? What do they need to do? They got a lot of ground to cover in 7 minutes.
They're going to have to pressure here full court if they want to try to get back in the game. And that could be, they could make it closer. Or if New Oxford is able to handle the pressure, that could extend their lead. But at some point here, Coach Eisenhardt is going to have to pick up full court to try to get some turnovers here.
Stewart makes both, and it's not happening yet as they back off in the half-court man-to-man. Meanwhile, on the other side, if you're New Oxford, Coach, what are you doing?
Here's the thing. You don't want to stall it because that totally changes your whole offense. I don't know if 42 points right now is enough for them to win the game. It might be. They might not have to score another point and be able to win the game. But if you do a complete stall, that messes everything up, and that leads you at times for turnovers. You want to work the ball around, get good shots. If you have a good look, you take it.
Braden Carver comes back into the game for Luke Rickroad, and Luke Rickroad had that big volleyball block. They run that high circle cut over and over and over again. New Oxford does.
So you know what? We must have been some good luck once we gave that update on Michigan and our hometown hero, Eli Brooks. They went from 53 to 46 to 60 to 46 with less than 9 minutes remaining.
And that's a big 3 by Nick Lawrence to make it 45-31. And Iowa, I believe, is a top 10 team. They were early about a week or two ago. I'm not sure if they still are.
I don't know.
Michigan's 3.
At one time, they were a top 5 team. They have Luka Garza, I believe, the big guy, and he is a force inside.
Yeah, Big Ten had 5 top 3 teams, or 3 top 5 teams.
5 top 3? I was going to say, how does that work there?
3 top 5 teams, and
yeah,
he's just catching. Stewart's catching the ball a little too far outside of the basket, trying to do too much.
Yeah.
And down by 14 now with 6 minutes to go. Spring Grove playing half-court defense still. Or quarter-court even.
Let's see where they pick them up. If they get in the passing lanes here at half court, that's just as good. But they got to get out there. They got to get in front of these passing lanes to try to deflect the ball.
Joe, they run that high elbow screen and curl cuts off of it every single play. Every single play. And here comes Stewart. And again, I think that's a jump.
Yeah, I thought that
travel.
was a travel. I don't think the other team had any possession of it.
Well, ref agrees with you. Coach Eisenhardt's a little unsure. I thought it looked like a jump, but my eyes aren't too good. All right, so 5:30 to go. New Oxford's content, kind of just holding it, passing the ball around the perimeter, not being too aggressive, making those circle cuts. There it is again. That's a foul. Got away with that one. Looked like a jersey pull. And they're content just playing 30, 35 feet away, Joe.
Honestly, I would say right now 45 points is probably enough points for them. If they keep this up and they keep passing it around and wasting clock, they probably don't need to score anymore.
And so there's a wide open layup.
Oh,
Missed. Got to convert there. That's number 33, Hunter Krabs. Misses that one. And
That's a bad foul.
yeah, and that's going to be 2 shots
2
at the line,
shots,
whether
yep.
he's shooting or not. Seems like Stewart's trying to do a lot right now.
Well, you don't have a lot of time if you're the Rockets. You know, you need to make something happen. You don't have that luxury that New Oxford has of passing it 10 times.
What would Hoosiers say? You got to pass the ball 5 times before you take a shot or something like that?
I believe that's how it was.
You're not too good with the movie references.
I had no Hoosiers. I don't remember that part of it.
I just remember in past conversations on SG Live, sometimes you get a little confused with your
Oh,
movie
no. I'm not to your level. I'm not to Mr. Richards' level. So, Hoosiers, though, I know. I do have the collector's edition.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Lex Luthor. Great take there. Great take there by Aiden Strawsball. A little far away from the cup when he released, not able to finish. So Spring Grove now. 4:10 to go, down by 13. There's Glass trying to force something, and he gets it. Timeout by Eisenhart. Now's
Good
when we're going to see
timeout.
that press, right?
Yep.
You're down by 11, 4:06 to go. It's now or nothing. You think we're going to see some, not just full court, but probably some traps, Joe.
Yeah, I agree here. You made me think about Hoosiers. Who's the best supporting actor in it? He was Shooter in it, I believe. What was that actor's name?
You got to give me a minute. Yeah.
I think he won an Academy Award possibly for that role.
We have the internet, but I don't like looking that stuff up.
Well, I am going to look it up because it's
Hopper.
going to bother me.
Is his name Hopper, the actor?
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Got it. My wife will not believe it. I am the worst human being on earth at identifying people and names. All right, so anyways, Joe, back to business. 406, my home address growing up, 406 Valley View Road. That's exciting. But 406 left in the game, 34-45. Rockets trail by 11, full timeout. We're going to have to see some trapping press, some sort of zone trapping press, I would think, or man-to-man, follow the first pass to trap in the corners, things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw any zone from us tonight. I could see us doing more of the man-to-man, but I don't know. Let's see.
Dennis Hopper was confirmed from some of our viewers in Connecticut, so it is Dennis Hopper. So look at that, we got it right. High screen here, and
they're going to have to double the ball.
yeah, but you can't just double anywhere, right, Joe? You got to double. You got to be smart about where you double.
Right there. Nice take by Diarmid.
Diarman with a nice finish there to make it a 9-point game. 3:30 to go. Rockets are up, as you see, and they're just running a straight man press. So they are running a full court man press, but doesn't seem like there's any traps coming off of it. Just trying to pick up the pace a little bit.
They're going to be shooting.
Yep, so
101.
number 34, Andrew Ziegler got a little handsy there. Number 5, Britton Eakins to the line. Another name that we called a lot in the second quarter, not so much since.
What year is he?
Sophomore.
Okay.
Eakins. First one's up. No
Ooh.
good. So that's the 8th foul on the Rockets. So 1-1 for New Oxford on the next foul as well. Glass turns and shoots.
Oh, he had a good look. He was squared up to it. I thought that was going in.
Yeah, he's off tonight. A lot of his threes just not able to find the mark tonight. Again, only a sophomore, and Coach Eisenhart said he's really impressed with where he's at. He's tied for first on the team in assists. I think he's second or third in points. So he'll be a fun one to watch over the next 2 years for sure. And now with 2:45 to go, Joe, now it's keep away time.
You got to double the ball, and then if you don't get something soon, you have to foul. 9 points, you still got a shot.
Oh, tough
No
take.
way. Oh. I thought he was going to get the roll in with that spin on the ball.
Tough take here as Eakins go to the line for 2. Are they
Wait,
calling
what?
this baseline out of bounds? Holy,
They didn't call a foul?
they called a foul. I think they. No,
If they did,
could've
they'd
called
be
a foul.
shooting.
Right. Wow. So
Wow, there's a lot of contact there.
a lot of contact. But either way,
Maybe
it
that's
works
a
out
good
in the
replay.
Rockets' favor.
If
So.
they could do
Yeah,
that.
hopefully we get the instant replay there from SG Live. We're not able to see those replays as you are, but I know SG Live works them in. Just great job by this production team and what they've done over the last couple of years, Joe. Steve Richards and the crew, just what a bang-up job they do.
Absolutely. I mean, it is amazing. It's like our own little TV studio.
And so that's a foul. Now Eakins is going to go to the line, and this game is getting very chippy. As Eakins go to the line for 1 and 1. It's a little bit of a body slam there by Spring Grove. And so I always like to call a timeout around here if I was the team up ahead, Joe, and used to talk about keeping your composure and understanding you are going to have to play through a lot of contact right now, and you're going to have to be physically and mentally tough because the other team is desperate.
Yeah, and right now, New Oxford, they don't need to score. They really don't.
No, they're up 11, 2:03 to go here. Spring Grove 5 out, but you see New Oxford, their back line, they kind of packed that paint a little bit, making it hard to
Yeah.
penetrate.
They're allowing the Rockets to pass around outside.
Still with a fadeaway jumper. Yeah, they caught the ball in the post there, and it looked like they never even looked to score, just content to pass out right away. 1:30 to go. There's a foul on glass, so number 11, Aiden Strasball headed to the line here. 4-2.
It doesn't look like the Rockets are going to pull this game out, but something, to keep in mind. I believe you said last time New Oxford scored in the 70s against them. This time they're going to keep them probably, about 50 points or so. That's an improvement, no doubt about it. This game was very competitive. We definitely had a chance. We had a lead there in the second quarter at 14-8. We just got cold. We had some turnovers. We weren't hitting some shots there. It's tough to win games when you're only scoring about 36 points.
It sure is. And speaking of, we're getting cold, but Eli Brooks is getting hot. He's up to 7 points now from 2 only a couple of minutes ago. So New Oxford, minute and 15 to go here. Foul on Jacob McCoy. Giving one just to get him to the line, hoping that they miss 2 and can make some magic happen here with 73 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter.
Man, Michigan. I mean, I think, they're going to be my pick to probably win it all. I mean, the way they're playing right now.
Juwan Howard's got to be your coach of the year, Great story, him bringing Phil Martelli on again.
Well, they were talking about Phil Martelli possibly going to Penn State then for the head coaching position there. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I wonder, Martelli's not a young guy. I don't know if he's going to be looking to get back into head coaching or not, but it would be great to get someone at Penn State that can hit up the Philadelphia kids again.
I can remember my wife works at Hershey, and they had a few years ago a big guy, Dylan Painter, who ended up being at Villanova. But I went to see a game, and at that game was Jay Wright and Phil Martelli.
Pretty cool.
Both there. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Phil Martelli, he's a pretty dapper looking. I mean, Jay Wright's a dapper looking guy. Phil Martelli, he doesn't dress as nice. I've got a little bit of that Jay Wright in me. You got a little of that Phil Martelli in you tonight.
Tonight, I'll give that to you. Tonight.
And he's got the Italian connection there.
Yeah. I'll give you that tonight.
I love Coach Martelli. Shot up and good. Aiden getting to the line a lot here, doing a nice job playing tough, playing through the contact. There's Josh Blymeyer, senior, last time stepping off the floor. Nice round of applause for him. Strasball amongst both. $16-point lead here for New Oxford.
Ooh.
That's a block. That should be 2 shots here. Saw the defender here who was trying to take a charge, kind of slide his feet a little bit into Stewart. So Stewart to the line for 2. That foul was on number 33, Hunter Krabs. And there's our other senior, number 12, Caleb Watson, Joe. Still or misses here, 15-point lead here for New Oxford. And I wouldn't expect to see any fouls from Spring Grove now.
I wouldn't think, but I mean, they're still playing tough D. They're not giving up.
Just wanted to go here. And for New Oxford, Joe, you got to give them credit. They played hard. They won this game because they were relentless on defense, forced a lot of turnovers, played strong physical basketball. And while the Rockets were getting a lot of offensive rebounds early on, New Oxford put an end to that, and they kept getting them. Congratulations to Coach Myers, New Oxford, coming in and winning. Right down the road here, a little rivalry game here. These two schools are very close. And
Yep.
Coach Eisenhart, the kids' fault. They didn't quit, and that's one of the things he told me pregame. He said, these kids, they never quit. They've done everything we've asked them to do. Their hearts are in it.
And you could see that. They were into this game. They wanted to win. They didn't give up. So, well, Wayne, we have some games coming up next week for girls playoffs. We're still working out the live streaming schedule here and who's going to be doing that call. I know we are the 18. I don't know if we're going to be doing those calls or another game next week. So we'll see.
No copyright infringement intended on the A team. Yeah, so, Joe, 37-52, New Oxford, they played hard, they played physical, they played tough. Spring Grove played hard through the end, but not able to keep up with the physicality of New Oxford. And once again, just a huge shout-out to Mr. Dan Brenner and his pep band, as they sounded phenomenal tonight. The cheerleaders doing a great job tonight. And Mr. Richards and the SG Live crew producing the unquestionably best local high school production you can possibly get. I mean, this thing is ran. Mr. Richards is the teacher professional that runs it, but the kids do the work. The kids, it's a student-ran production. They're on the cameras, they're in the studio, they're on the headsets. It's really something to see behind the scenes, and just not enough credit can go out to them and what they're doing here at Spring Grove. This program has grown so much over the last several years, Joe. It's not that long ago. I remember even the morning announcements at Spring Grove being a microphone and no screen behind it. And what they've done over the last 5 or 6 years is just absolutely tremendous. So a huge shout out to that team. Thank you so much to everybody that watched. As the Italian Charles Oakley, Dr. Joseph Intrieri said, we hope you guys tune in for the girls' playoff game. More details on that to come. The first playoff game is March 3rd. We hope to have information out on the website and on the Twitter feed and everything else about, the live stream information for that. So hopefully you can join us. But from Spring Grove tonight, for the Italian Charles Oakley, Dr. Joseph Intrieri, I am Wayne Dahl. Nice win for the New Oxford Colonials. Nice send-off for our seniors. And everybody in Spring Grove and New Oxford land, have a great night.